Same people. Freedom! Movie, freedom. It's about liberation. Don't think that it's about killing people and oil. No. Look, how could there be that many? They were never there. Where did they come from? Then there's Jessica Lynch. They invented this story about this heroic girl. I mean, I feel sorry for her because she only joined the military because they paid her college fees. She wanted to be a teacher. And it was a way of doing it. Get the college fees paid, and then she finds herself deployed to Iraq. There was a BBC documentary recently, but if you look at the press coverage as well, of people that have talked to the doctors, very nice people that looked after this incident. And what the spinners said was that she was stabbed in the leg, she was shot, but she kept shooting right to the death. Well, why didn't they kill her then? If she was shooting so many Iraqis, these terrible people. And what the doctors said was that it was a road traffic accident. The vehicle turned over, that's why she was injured. And what happened was that the doctor had heard that she was going to be moved to Baghdad, and she was frightened, and he felt sorry for her. So he said to an ambulance driver, look, put her in the back of the ambulance and drive her to the nearest American checkpoint and hand her over, because I don't want to move to Baghdad. I don't know what's going to happen to her there, right? So the ambulance driver puts her in the back, drives towards the checkpoint, the Americans open fire, makes him turn back. The next day the troops go in with the heroic rescue. And there's nobody there but bloody doctors and nurses. And they actually tied patients with really bad injuries where they couldn't walk to the bed. I mean, excuse me. It's a this. And then there's the pig trough. Who has got the major contracts to rebuild the Iraq that they have bombed? Halliburton's got the major contract. Cheney's company, and Bechtel, major Illuminati company, that is a major player in that is a guy called George Shultz, who was the advisor to the Bush campaign for president. And then there's these are troops scraping gold off the doors of these places, and of course the looting and all that stuff. And then there's this guy, Ahmed Watch Your Pockets Shalabi, of the Iraqi National Congress, who fled Iraq in about 58, went to Jordan, had to apparently flee in the back of in the trunk of a car because he was wanted for a massive bank fraud, for which in his absence he was sentenced to 22 years imprisonment. Comes to Britain, starts the Iraqi National Congress, which was funded to the tune of $325,000 a year by the CIA. And then suddenly he returns, and of course they want him and his Iraqi National Congress group in power, just as they want a puppet government in power in Afghanistan. Newspeak, Orwell's brilliant term, war is peace, death is freedom, occupation is liberation, we don't want your oil. Reverse everything, you get the truth. But of course he's a Christian man, George. He's a Christian man. He wouldn't do that. This is the man, when he was killing everything that moved in executions as governor of Texas, said kill them all and let God sort them out. Hey, wanted for crimes against humanity and terrorism. That's what these people, and they haven't even started yet. We are seeing history repeat itself. And my God, let's repeat what happened in the past when people walked away in denial. It's not going on, I can ignore it. He actually said if this was a dictatorship, it would be a heck of a lot easier as long as I'm the dictator. Well, he's not the dictator, but those dictating to him are. What's what we're basically seeing as they head for the next place, because they want Iran, they're now preparing us for that, and Syria, and Lebanon, and Libya, and they want to go off. Why do they want to go off to North Korea? Because it's borders into China and can start that whole thing rolling. Iran, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Libya, Lebanon, North Korea, China, they've all been named by these neocons in the last few weeks as other countries that need to be democratized and taken away from terrorism. What it means is we want to replace one dictatorship with ours. And then you've got these people. We'll have an hour break for dinner in a second. But then we've got these people. Neo-Labour, because it's not new. Neo-Labour, that's what it is. I mean, what's going on here? Do you remember when Peter Hain used to protest against apartheid and injustice and used to take part in war protests? He's now in his dark suit justifying every war that Blair says he wants to wage. He's centralizing power massively in Europe, saying it's a tidying up exercise. We've got the firebrand from Sheffield who's joined the club, who is now taking freedoms away and introducing the agenda through identity cards. We've got Jeff Goon Hoon, the Defence Secretary, who just does whatever his master tells him. We've got Jack Strawman Straw, who again is just repeating what Blair says all the time and never going or questioning anything. Well, John Prescott, yeah, right. And then we've got John Prescott. 2 Jags. Hey, man of the people. And then we've got Peter Mandelson, the Prince of Darkness, as they call him. And any party that has Peter Mandelson as an MP loses all right to call itself a party of the people. And now we're seeing the process of stopping questions being asked, of putting pressure on people to shut up and not question what's happening. As you see, they've succeeded with me massively. I promised never to question authority. I promised never to bring up my rights. Now, why are they doing this? I tell you what, let's go back to Nazi Germany in a second and get a quote on it. Those that are protesting, like these Americans in Auckland against the Iraqi war at the time, they were hit by rubber bullets by these people. So when you kill people, you get a medal. When you kill lots of people, you're a hero in the White House. When you protest against killing people, they shoot at you. Alice in Wonderland. But let's go back to this. Why are they doing this, suppressing dissent? Nazi propaganda minister Dr. Joseph Goebbels. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic and/or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus by extension the truth becomes the greatest enemy of the state. But we're in a period now, which I'm going to talk about more when I get into some really bizarre stuff when we've had dinner, where the wake-up call is coming. 1 million people on the streets against the war, and vast numbers of them never done that in their lives before. It says something. But what we need to do is not stop dividing and ruling those that are against what is going on and fighting among ourselves. Because it doesn't matter if you are of the left, if you are of the right, if you are of the center, if you're black, white, or pink with blue spots. We are all the targets of this agenda. Peacefully, this is the greatest contribution, including those behind him, to peace and freedom in the world that could possibly happen. The toppling of George W. Bush, more important, the exposing of those that control him and Blair. Because if we stand up and start talking about this and refuse to be bowed into keeping our heads down and their mouths shut, we will prove Goebbels right. The truth is the greatest enemy of the lie. And all we get from official sources is the lie, and it's not that they lie and then they do a bit of truth and then they lie. They lie, lie, lie because they're creating cover stories for the real deal behind it. It's coming to light, and it's a great time to be alive. If we have an hour, an hour for lunch, and then I want to go into some really bizarre stuff about how we can bring about this and what the matrix really is, because they know what it is and they don't want us to know. But for now, thank you very much. Thank you.